And, I was going to watch the Mogul Mail of the XQC thing.
This is crazy. I don't know how to start this video. This is crazy. Streamer XQC just signed a 2-year, $100 million contract with Kick.com. This is the biggest streaming contract, bar none. The second biggest, Ninja. $50 million. He doubled
I heard it was less. I thought it was like 25 or 30.
XQC is officially getting paid more than LeBron James. LeBron! He's getting paid $97.1 million over 2 years, which makes him the top paid player in the NBA, and XQC is making more money. That is fucking mind-blowing.
That is mind-blowing. That's a lot.
Before you guys get on your high horse and you say, who watches XQC anyway?
Well, apparently enough people to pay him a lot of fucking money. It's that simple.
To some degree, XQC is the biggest streamer on Twitch and has been for a long time. 2020, #1 streamer. 2021, XQC #1. 2022, XQC #1. Past 6 months of 2023, #1 streamer, XQC. He's been the top dog for the past few years, and it seems like he will continue to be the top dog for the next couple years. Well, at least it seemed that way until he brought his talent over to Kick.com. Now, before we go any further, it's worth clarifying, this is a non-exclusive contract. He will not be locked into an exclusive contract with the site.
And I want to say also, again, with the non-exclusive part, non-exclusive contracts are better for every party except for Twitch. Because it's better for him, it's better for his community, it's better for Kick. It's just not good for Twitch. That's it.
Stream on YouTube, TikTok, and he plans to still stream on Twitch, though not nearly as often.
Yeah, he's moving viewers over to Kick.
Kick is where he primarily produces his content.
Right.
Which is in line with Kick's growth strategy, where they sign huge streamers to non-exclusive contracts so they can still stream on Kick and then hopefully bring the people over from Twitch to Kick over time, which has been working out for them because Kick has grown tremendously. And this begs the question that everybody's wondering, how the fuck does Kick have this much money? How do they have 100?
How do they get all this money? Where does it come from? Does anybody know? I don't know, man. Do they have a money tree? Maybe.
$1 million contract money. Because the only other people who came close to that amount of money was Microsoft, which makes sense. Microsoft has a lot of money, and even they had to shutter their windows over at Mixer because they ran out of that shit. And
they were run like clowns.
Answer to that, Stake. Because the person who owns Kick, or is, I believe, the majority shareholder of Kick, is Ed Craven, who is also Stake Eddie, the guy who owns or is a part owner of Stake, which has reached a global gross revenue of $2.6 billion with a B dollars in 2022.
That is nuts. $2.6 billion fucking dollars. Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking gamba. Wow.
Which is why they're able to afford Drake as their main advertiser in a $100 million advertising contract, which actually means Drake and XQC are getting paid the same amount. Canadians on top, I suppose. And this is not just me theorizing this. If you want, you can read yourself Ed Craven's own words, because he has his own medium where he posts his own thoughts. And in that, he talks about why do people watch online casino games and the relationship between streaming services and casinos and how that can make casino games bigger. And how
it's so huge because people like sometimes I would watch. I don't gamble. I'm not a gambler. It's not my thing. If somebody they gave me $100 and they said you have to do $100 of spins, I would do it. It's not that I'm afraid of it or I fucking hate it or anything like that. It's just not my thing. But it would be funny for me I'd be talking to my dad and I'd be watching Train or like X or I also Aiden at the time. And I'd be like, yeah, he just lost another $20,000. That's another $20,000 down the drain.
You can make casino games more exciting to watch for people. And the general theory is that Kick.com is able to spend all this money because it advertises gambling. And they make a lot of money from gambling. It's just a guaranteed win. There's no way to lose because there's a house edge. So you just guaranteed to make money from gambling. The larger gambling is, the more money you make. Well, how do you advertise gambling? Because you're not allowed to do it on Twitch or YouTube. You make your own website, Kick.
With
That's the
blackjack
general
and
game
hookers.
plan. And it's kind of working.
Except they got rid of the
Slots and
hookers.
casinos are the most watched category on Kick, or at least they were for
What a fucking surprise. Yeah, and they've also brought over some, I'm surprised OSRS isn't on the list here. They brought over some people from OSRS, but of course slots is going to be the main one, you know?
One of 2023, and it's not really close. I mean, just chatting somewhat in the region, but all the video games are bigger, more than 10 times smaller than slots and casinos.
Oh, they love to spin.
And this is also maybe Ed Craven's way of also fixing esports by bringing sports gambling into esports. And that
I think this might actually have to happen because esports, Disguised Toast has been toasting $1 million apparently. Nobody's making any money in esports. It's just been propped up by venture capitalist money for over 10 years. People are starting to wake up and realize, we're wasting all of our fucking money. And obviously Riot is figuring this out with what's happened. Tons of people are losing millions of dollars. Franchise spots are going unfilled. Teams are getting cut. People are losing their jobs. And it's sad to see it happen, but at the end of the day, it's a free market. And that's what happens. And I think what's going to end up being I feel like what's going to happen is they might actually have to take gambling and, you could say less than clean sponsorships in order to subsidize esports. Because I don't know if they can do it on their own. It seems like after the last 10 years, they can't.
Be the future of esports, because we know that's a losing business right now.
Yeah.
And where did sports go? They went to gambling. That's where Ed Craven thinks esports will go as well.
I think they're going to have to. And the thing is that the publishers of the games are going to try to stop them from doing that. And I think that's going to be really interesting to watch happen. Because somebody mentioned in chat, traditional sports are embracing gambling now. What's that big gambling site that they do? DraftKings. That is a massive one because sports betting, keep in mind, slots are nice, but Slicker lost all of his fucking money over sports betting, not slots.
Go to kick.com, you'll see biggest streamer, slots and casino.
There it is.
In fact,
there's Rosh.
3 of the top 10 streamers right now are slots and casino streamers, and that's just kind of the way it goes. But that's not all.
I remember, does Rosh still wear the hat? Does he still wear the hat? I don't know if he does or not. I haven't seen his streams for a while. He does. He still wears the hat. I remember showing Rosh. I love Rosh, but I showed him to my dad, and I was like, imagine this guy trying to sell you a used car. And I just started laughing. Like, this is like a year ago, and I still fucking think about it. Because just, like, the way he's dressed, like, I remember, like, I screenshotted his fucking Twitch profile. What was it, like a casino whisperer? What did he call himself? Oh, my fucking God. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was some sort of, like, a casino something. Oh, it was so good. Rothstein. Casino guru? No, it was casino philosopher. Yes. Casino philosopher.
All it is. That's what it was maybe at the start, but there are more creators who are outside of the casino sphere that are going to Kick. And it's because they offer something nobody else can.
Yeah.
A perfect creator split. A 95-5 split. We all have been trashing Twitch over the past few months for cutting back from 70-30 to 50-50 and taking away creators' monies. Well, Kick is doing the exact opposite of that because, again, they seem to have this unlimited bank account they can draw from, which we all assume is coming from gambling.
Yeah.
And so they can pay XQC $100 million to advertise to people what Kick is and then get the smaller creators who now know about Kick and they're like, well, if XQC will do it, maybe I can try it too.
Right.
And you get a 95
you've got to make it to where people are willing to move over.
5-5 split if you do. That seems worthwhile. And I anecdotally have seen a bunch of people who are interested in moving over to Kick. Even people.
And that's the thing. I have this same, again, this is anecdotally, but I have seen so many fucking people, just like small to mid-sized content creators. I think I'm going to stream on Kick all the time.
Like the guards Trent, like just a Valorant player who's really good, who's thinking about going over to Kick, because you make way more money.
How much of that 100 million will go back to stake? Probably 300 million.
Money. Think about it. You have 100 subs, you're going to be making at least like $450 if you're on Kick, as opposed to Twitch where you're only making $250. That's a pretty good deal, especially if you're a smaller creator. And that's not where they're stopping, because Ed also talked on Medium about how he wants to do an hourly wage paid to creators.
And this is actually already happening. They're trying to set this up now.
Regardless of if they have 1 or 100,000 viewers, which has never been done before. It has never even been heard about before.
Yeah.
Paying hourly to stream, no longer being reliant on the...
Now, I think they had to peel back the one viewer thing to make it like somewhat profitable, but this is still something they're planning on.
The ads or the viewers to pay for subscribers or memberships, but just getting directly paid for your hourly work is a game changer and would pull over hundreds, if not thousands of streamers to Kick.com. And so far, this strategy...
Dorky brings up a good point in chat. No Twitch Prime viewers or ad revenue, though. I think the viewers part is hard to say. The viewer part is changing. Ad revenue, they say, is changing. And Twitch Primes are massive. And also no drops. That's another thing that Kick doesn't have, is they don't have drops.
Been doing seems to be working. All right, they have 5 million registered users already in just a few months, which is very impressive.
Absolutely.
They're a huge landing page.
Absolutely,
they got
I know that.
just 73 million people who went to their website in the month of May.
Most people do.
But, you know, it's easy to hype up Kick. Let's not mistake. Twitch, still much bigger. All right, 1.1 billion. And the big thing that Kick is missing out on is a lot of creators outside of the U.S., a lot of non-English speaking creators.
Yeah.
Twitch crushes that right now. They're huge in Germany. They're huge in
Spanish
Russia.
community.
They're huge in South Korea.
Massive.
And those markets are going to make Twitch on top for live streaming for a very long time. And it's possible that somebody like Kick can come in, or maybe YouTube if they get their act together, and beat Twitch. But at least for the next 5 years, I don't think that will happen. It'll take a little bit longer than that. It seems, however, that all these things...
So he shaved the mustache. Yeah.
...has been doing is making Twitch a bit nervous. Now, the running theory,
he
because
caved,
there was an announcement from Twitch a couple days ago, is that they announced their Partner Plus program, which is reversing their decision where they slashed everybody from 70-30 down to 50-50, back to 70-30 again. Yeah, they literally just went through a PR nightmare only to be like, just kidding, we brought it back.
Yeah.
And now, if you are a streamer and you have 350 occurring paid subscriptions, basically tier 1 subscribers, not Prime, not gifted, 350 people who decided to give you $5 a month, they will give you a 70-30 split if you're able to hold that for 3 consecutive months, which, by the way, is exactly how their secret contract worked before.
Yeah, it is.
This has been leaked, so
well, it was also different numbers. Like originally it was like 1,000 paid subs, and it was 500, then it was 300. Then people that had like orgs, they could get it, and they only had 30 subs. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
I'm gonna get in trouble, but they had this deal for a long time. When I first got 70-30, it was because I reached out through the partner portal because I heard through the grapevine that if you have 350 reoccurring paid subscriptions and you do it for 3 months, they'll give you 70-30. So they basically brought back the same exact thing that they had before, only difference being you are only paid up to $100,000 of extra money, which seems to be the cutoff of, I assume, profitability for Twitch. And then after that, there's probably diminishing returns for streamers with 20, 30,000 subscribers.
I feel like it's a one-to-one. Like, how is there any diminishing return? Like going from, I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the math, but I feel like this isn't really a diminishing return situation. This is just Twitch. Like it's basically just taking money away from like top streamers and nobody giving a fuck about it because people are jealous that top streamers make so much money anyway. So they're like, haha, we can fuck you, and it's just too bad.
so they don't want to pay them the
That's the way it
millions
felt
that
to
they
me.
might get for a 70-30 split.
Which,
They
by
wanna-
the way, keep in mind, I consulted with them about this. I told them it was a good idea. I said, yeah, it's totally fine. You know, people love that you're shitting on the big streamers.
pay them up to 100K.
That
helps all
That's what I told him.
like the streamers who are in between like 500 and I think 3,000 subs, something like that. And then after that, you're not really going to get the bag that you might have had before.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it is a positive step Twitch made, and I think they did it because of some of the decisions that Kick has made. I think
That's my understanding is that's not the case, but it could have been a more meta. It could be the case on a more meta level, but my understanding of this change is that it was not a response to any action by Kick recently.
Kick is actually making a bit of a splash in this industry, and in fact, I think
They
Kick
pay
has
to consult? No, I talked to them. I was at the drive-thru at Taco Cabana, and I was on the phone with them.
a really good future. To me, it seems that there's
On a
one
video
thing that is
call.
currently holding Kick back, which is their brand, their branding, their image. All right, for a lot
Yeah.
of people, they won't even consider streaming on Kick, not just because of the association with gambling, and some people are calling it blood money, which is true to a
Blood
point.
for
but
the blood
let's be
god.
honest, getting money from Amazon, is it that much better? Are we really trying to start a shit fight in capitalism land on who is more ethical? It's kind of a losing battle on all sides. But also just because the image
No,
of
it's a winning battle. The people that lose are the ones that live in the third world countries that make this stuff for us, the winners.
who Kick allows on their website, and also who are the big faces of Kick, which to this point has been Aiden Ross, and that guy's been getting a bit unhinged. Literally last week, 2 weeks ago, he was telling Hassan to kill himself, which is crazy when he is the guy on Kick. He is the face of the website, and he's telling someone to kill themselves. Not just Hassan, Jake Sucky. Which is like, that dude is just like a Twitter journalist who posts stories and shit. It's crazy to say Jake Lucky deserves to be stoned to death on God. That's a crazy
That's some straight up Old Testament shit, man. That's like straight up, like you're reading like the first 5 pages of the Bible and you're like,
sentence, especially when you are the multi-million dollar face and largest streamer on a website. It doesn't really bode well for other people who are hoping to go to that website. And then there's also been a lot of issues with Kick having streamers do things that are a bit nefarious.
Keep in mind, contextualize this. Kick, there was this weird dude. I don't want to talk about it. This stuff is weird. The guy was like having like inappropriate conversations with minors. Kick removed him. He's gone. He's also gone off of YouTube. He's done. So Kick does remove people in certain instances. So yeah.
Get headlines like when Heel Mike got a 1-day ban for.
I don't care. Like, I mean, am I the only person who doesn't care about this guy getting a blowjob on stream? I do not care about this at all. Like, this is like a non-issue. Like, maybe I'm just a degenerate who's been desensitized by 4chan, but I do not care. Just don't
getting
watch
a blowjob on stream.
Just don't
Those
watch
are
the
type of things that I
blowjob.
think maybe stray people.
I mean, he didn't
away
even
from
show his
considering
dick.
Kick. And then there's obviously even worse things like Kick streamer Suspendus, who's accused of having sex in front of a child while live streaming.
Again,
Again, these are the things that
This
I think
is
are
another
currently holding
person, I
Kick
think.
back.
I don't know.
But I think are surmountable still. It's new enough, right? Kick is new.
Hey, yo, real quick. Where did the Buffalo streamer who shot up those black people in New York or up there, where did he stream to? He streamed to Twitch, and Twitch banned him. It was a W Twitch. They banned him so fast. So it's not like Kick has a monopoly on pieces of shit that broadcast on our platform. Just keep that in mind. For 4 minutes. Yep, I know. Twitch massively, like, weird comparison. Wait, what do you mean? What's yikes? That's not the same thing? Kick isn't banning them? Kick literally just did. Like, what I'm saying is Kick literally did ban one of the people that did something bad like that. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Like, bro, like, what? Y'all try to act like he still streams? Bro, chats are talking. Yeah, bro, y'all are really trying to take this into another situation. Like, I'm going to be real. My comparison was 100% on point. It was a 1-to-1. Anybody that doesn't understand what I'm saying is trying to misunderstand it.
I think people give a little bit of leeway to newer websites to form an identity and get their moderation in control and try to fix their website. They could go down a path where they end up becoming like Rumble, where there's people who won't even touch Rumble because of the political affiliation with right-wingers. They wouldn't even dream of going on the website because even if you play Stardew Valley 24/7, just being on the website instantly connects you with a bunch of right-wingers, which probably brings an audience you might not want if all you like doing is playing Stardew Valley for people. So Kick has to do a good job avoiding that and keep having an infinite bag of money. And in the next 3 years, we got ourselves a very interesting...
I also want to emphasize, people, it's true that, like, are they really right-wingers? I mean, like, there's some nutballs over on Rumble, but at the end of the day, here in America, we have freedom of speech. And the nutballs can speak. That's just the way it is.
Streaming landscape with Twitch and Kick. And YouTube, again, if they get their act together. Come on, YouTube.
Yep.
We're still in this, right? We are still in this.
Yeah, YouTube. I forgot that YouTube has live streaming. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, they got like the mogul male guy, the 2X, and Tim.
Being on YouTube right now is it kind of feels
Sykuno.
like we're a third party in an American election, right? So you got Democrats, Republicans. I feel like I'm like the green.
Well, you're the Green Party because you got a fucking millions of dollars. Yeah, I know. Don't even go. Don't. Yeah.
Party right now. I feel like I'm a libertarian. You know, like we get our few percentages every single 4-year election cycle, and then we move on our way. But I think we can get big one day. Come on, hit my line. I got some ideas. Anyway, that's the big update. $100 million. Holy shit, that's fucking crazy. See you later. Have a good one. I'm gonna bring my cat to the vet. So this is one take, Jake. Hopefully it was good. Goodbye.
Hopefully the cat's okay. So I don't understand why YouTube doesn't separate live space. I would listen. I don't know why they do what they do. I don't know why they don't do what they don't do. I'm not sure. It's crazy. 100 million is crazy. It is, right? It's so much money. I know that, man. First Amendment doesn't necessarily apply to private websites and services. I think that a lot of people this is the way a lot of people here feel. Is that if it's not against the law, people are okay with you saying it. That's basically how a lot of people feel. They don't really give a fuck. And I think that also, like, whenever people start writing rules for what other people can and can't say, it really just turns into the people that are in control writing rules for other people that are like them, right? I mean, that's what the worry is. So a lot of people have a live and let live policy. That's generally the way that I feel. I think that there are some extremes, but most of the extremes that I feel are bad are also illegal. Like, fucking inciting violence, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's that simple. As long as consequences aren't absolved. I find that to be foolish, the idea that freedom from consequence isn't the same as freedom of speech. Yeah, well, I wonder if it's freedom of consequence from the government, but whenever you have these multi-billion-dollar international worldwide corporations that can effectively unperson you in their own world, which is the internet, I mean, is this not kind of the same thing? Like, I don't know. I think that people should be able to say what they want as long as it's not illegal or actually hurting anybody. And if people don't like it, they don't have to listen to it. And if people disagree with it, they can express why they disagree. I completely agree with personal censorship. Like, if you go on, if you are on your stream, if somebody is harassing you on Twitter, I think that you should 100% be able to block them. But the idea that somebody just gets removed from all of the platforms because they have opinions that are disagreeable, I find that to be a very dangerous road to go down. And I think that social media has gone down that road for the last 5 years. And if you look at the most popular content creators, I think we're seeing a huge backlash of that now. Because enough people got banned off of YouTube, enough people got banned off of Twitch, and eventually they made their own Twitch with blackjack and hookers. And now it's popular, now it has a massive audience, and there's nothing people can do about it. So it didn't work. Like, going back 10 years, has censoring people on the internet solved the problem of, like, people having bad opinions? No, I think it's made it worse. That's what I think. That's my read. I could be wrong, I could be off, I could be stupid, but that's what I think. You know, make your own, makes your own, can't do that. I do agree everyone deserves a platform. Those kinds of people also make your platforms more toxic. It's kind of a hard problem to solve. What's toxic to you isn't to somebody else. I agree with you, but I think that giving people the tools to remove toxicity from their own space inside of the website is much healthier. The internet became an echo chamber of the same ideas. If you ban speech, yep, it definitely is. The problem is saying things like that don't hurt anyone has become subjective. Think of the Hogwarts Legacy stuff. If you bought the game, you actively hurt people. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that, the only people that think that are psychos on Twitter. No real people think that. I think you have to moderate heavily because people take a mile whenever given an inch. Businesses are meant to be ran like dictatorships, not democracies. I'm sure it's the case somewhere. I think businesses being run a certain way is one thing, but businesses also have to operate in the benefit of the public. And I think also whenever you're talking about providing a public service, it doesn't really matter how the business is run. It matters how the business interacts with the public. And that's really what I'm talking about, not how to run a business. Does that make sense? About a game didn't hurt anybody? Yeah, but like, this person is right that like everybody thinks like, oh, it's hurting somebody just because they invent something. Anyway, this is a tangent, whatever. Point is that this is going to be massive for live streaming. I think that it's obvious that a lot of people right now are reevaluating their platform that they're on. Content creators, even viewers are involved with this. Viewers have opinions on this. We're in for a very interesting year. Let's just say about that. Yeah, we're in for a very, very interesting year. Yeah, I had to make a fucking... Your chat's being toxic towards me because of my name? Just report them. Report them. I think that harassing users and attacking them... Like, I don't understand why it's such a hard idea to understand that if you do something that would be bad in real life, then it should be bad on the site. So, like, if you just continuously harass somebody, well, I think that you should get in trouble for that, because if you did that in real life, you would be removed, right? It's illegal to just continuously harass someone. You know, like, I feel like it's such a simple line, and people just somehow do mental gymnastics to try to, see what's fucking obvious.